Hey guys, it's Gio from Ocasio Security, and today I want to talk about creating a payload with the USB RubberDucky that will disable Windows Defender and get you a reverse shell. So what I did was I used two of the pre-made payloads from the official USB RubberDucky payloads GitHub. First, I went into execution and I copied the disable Windows Defender 22H2, and I also used, just so you can see it, it's this one here, and I also used the under remote access, where is it? The netcat reverse shell on login. And I made a decent amount of edits to these two scripts because they didn't fit the need exactly as I needed them to. Either the code is executing too fast and I have to add more delays, or like in the sense of the netcat reverse shell on login, that wasn't executing properly, so I changed it a decent amount actually. And then once you copy these two scripts, you can copy and paste them into the Hack 5 payload studios. So first, obviously, you want to disable Windows Defender so that the reverse shell script will actually run. And just so you know, like this is set to run, this is tested on German computers, as it says here. I'm not sure if you can really see that. So you have to go down and edit this. You have to take it, normally is in German, and you have to edit it so that it searches Windows security when it hits the Windows S. So I'm not going to talk through all of it, just a decent amount. So like here, the disable Windows, it hits that Windows symbol S, which opens the search function, waits 1,000, I think, milliseconds or seconds, and then it searches for the term that you specified up above, the one that we edited to say Windows security. It'll delay about 1,000 milliseconds again, hit enter, delay 1.5 seconds, hit enter, delay again, and then it'll tab through certain sections and then open up the real-time monitoring, I believe it is, and then it'll turn it off. And then it'll close it up, close everything, and this also has a function to restore Windows Defender afterwards. And I was just testing it, so I didn't really need this one. So in the end, all I did was call for the disable Windows Defender. Now, afterwards, if you want to, once you're done with the reverse shell and you exit, you can call for the um, restore function that'll turn Windows Defender back on. But now in the reverse shell, this one is gonna run PowerShell, and this Control Shift Enter will try to start PowerShell as an administrator. So hopefully, the user that's running the script is in the administrators group, and the left will do the UAC bypass that'll allow you to run the PowerShell in administrator. And then this string here, what it does is it'll download the contents of this file here, this connection.ps1, which is a reverse shell script made with MSF Venom. So I'll have to host a HTTP server on my attacking client with this file in its subdirectory, and then it'll download the string and run the PowerShell script, and that's what grants us um, the reverse shell. And that's really it. And then you'll hit generate payload, and it'll create a bin folder or a bin file, an inject.bin. You'll download this file and then replace the default bin file that's on the USB RubberDucky. So I'm not going to do that now because I already have this on there. And if I plug in my RubberDucky again, it'll try to run the script unless I do the whole enter in a safe mode, which would involve me taking it out of its case, which I really don't feel like doing. But yeah, and next I'll show you guys how I actually executed it on two separate Windows devices, or excuse me, one Windows device and one Kali Linux device. All right, guys. So this is a screen recording um, of the USB RubberDucky performing the Windows Defender disable and reverse shell script that I talked about previously. So on the left, we have Kali Linux with a netcat listener on port 443. And on the right, we have um, an HTTP server running through Python, which is hosting that connect.ps1 file I was talking about earlier. And then the right side of the screen, we have Windows, which is going to be attacked using the USB RubberDucky. So at the top, it says whenever the USB RubberDucky performs UAC bypass, that little window that pops up and you try to run something as administrator, the screen goes black. And that's because the tool that I'm using to screen record cannot capture the UAC bypass portion. Sorry about that, but it is what it is. So as we begin, you can see that the USB RubberDucky is opening Windows Security. It's going down to manage settings so it can turn it off. It's turning off real-time protection, the UAC bypass to allow it to turn off. And it already finished the first portion. Now it's going to use Windows Run to open up PowerShell as an administrator. It's going to do the Control-Shift-Enter and another UAC bypass. So again, like you want to edit the delays to work for you. For this demonstration, I wanted to ensure that it works, so the delays are a little bit longer than they need to be. And you can see we have an administrator's Windows PowerShell, and it's going to run the download string, which will request the connection.ps1. And again, the delay is a little bit longer than it needs to be, but it executes, and you can see on the left side of the screen that we'll get an HTTP GET request for that file, and even further to the left, it'll execute the reverse shell script, and we'll have access as the user admin onto that Windows system. And we can confirm it running ipconfig. This is a different IP than our IP. And we can confirm our privileges with whoami/priv, and we're an administrator. All right, guys, that's my demo for the USB RubberDucky. I plan on doing one for the Wi-Fi Pineapple, so stand by for that. And I also may do a video similar to the Network Chuck video of turning a Raspberry Pi Pico into a RubberDucky. But we'll see. Thank you guys for watching.